Legendary comic book writer Chuck Dixon and fantastic illustrator Joe Bennett returns for Alphacore number 3, released, of course, by the Rippaverse. This is going to be my comic book review, so sit back, relax. I'm your host, Jacob Berry, and welcome to Studio Jake. Thank you so much for joining me today. If you would be so kind, be sure to like, share, subscribe, and leave a comment on this video. It really helps me out. If you're watching on YouTube Mobile, be sure to hype this video. Apparently it does something positive, not quite sure what that is, but I would appreciate it if you help me out by doing it. I'm going to dive right into this review. I am so excited that the Rippaverse released Alphacore number 3 ahead of the Exclave event, which is a spanning event that they are going to do. It's going to be a crossover event with some of your favorite Rippaverse characters. But before we get into that, we are going to talk about Alphacore number 3. The Rippaverse returns us to the epic tale of the Alphacore with issue 3 from writer Chuck Dixon and illustrator Joe Bennett. According to the description, the Alphacore team is grounded, but the threats to Flores Park never stop. With the Eagle's Nest still under repair and the team stripped of their official duties, Brian Solari and Braxwell have been putting their powers to use helping rebuild the city they accidentally destroyed. But beneath the rubble of the Coronado Center, something sinister is stirring. Tokamek and his partner Duffy have been tunneling through the wreckage on a secret heist, and when Brian stumbles into their operation, he uncovers a vault full of gold and a conspiracy that goes deeper than anyone imagined. Meanwhile, Braxwell's off-the-books vigilante work brings him face-to-face with the Horseman, who delivers a chilling warning. Cal Buxton isn't who he claims to be. Okay, before I dive into the actual story, I want to say how much I love Keenan White's cover. It is a dynamic work of comic book art that perfectly captures the entire team and the urgency of their situation. Bennett returns to illustrate the interior artwork, and wow, this is one of his finest issues. I often praise his work because it rocks, but the way he draws the fight between Solari and Tokamek is one of the coolest moments that he has ever put to page. Dixon is a legendary name, and Rippaverse founder Eric July was right to tap him to pen this tale. It shows the twists and turns of being licensed heroes, but never veers into the tired trope of nihilistic heroism. As such, it felt like a fresh, action-packed adventure that only gets me more excited for what is to come. And that is the reality of the Alphacore. This trilogy has been interesting, and I have to say I'm so glad that Eric July decided to put the Rippaverse back to publishing Alphacore comics. After Alphacore number 1, he just kind of had them guest star, like in Yaira, for example. They did a lot of crossovers with Yaira, but he heard the fan response that, yeah, we like them in Yaira, but we want to see what's going on with them in their solo adventures. And so he brought them back. And I'm so glad that Chuck Dixon and Joe Bennett didn't just stop doing the Horsemen. They also added on Alphacore to the numerous amount of work they're doing, especially with the upcoming aforementioned Exclave event. Now, I mentioned the cover by Keenan White, and it is an excellent cover. I love it. It is phenomenal. And I do plan on getting it, but I decided to treat myself to one of the variant covers. Now, Keenan White's cover is going to be the mass production one, so I can get that one anytime I wanted to, but I wanted to get one that was more unique. So I actually got BTG's solo Ingrid Valdez cover. Now, Ingrid, she is the only member of the Alphacore who can't fly, but she doesn't need to be able to fly. She's got sort of Spider-Man athletic abilities. She has a little bit of super strength, but also she has these, I guess, bionic whips that she uses to capture bad guys. She's also a wicked motorcycle driver, and she puts a lot of villains down by just showing up suddenly on her motorcycle, ramming into their weapons, or just crashing through the walls into the area they are just to put a stop to them. She is so cool, and so I wanted to get a cover featuring her because she is one of the most under-talked about members of Alphacore as far as I've seen in the discourse about Alphacore. And so yeah, I went with the BTG cover because look at this illustration. He just draws her in such an epic way. She looks so cool standing out looking over at you, the reader, but also over Flores Park, Texas. So I really thought that was cool. I know I'm going to get a good ROI on this cover because it is so fantastic. I loved it, and I love flipping through it, and I can't wait to later get the Kanan White cover. Now I have to be careful because I don't want to give away spoilers, but I wanted to show you this. So this is Solari's fight with Tokamek, and this is just 2 pages from it. It is actually a very expansive fight, and it is done very well. But check out this artwork by Joe Bennett. It's just so phenomenal. It just flows so well. I love the way he does it and how he illustrates these things. He does such a fantastic job, and I love everything about it. It is so cool. He also has another image in here that I didn't mention in my review, but I wanted to show you because it's more visually pleasing, I guess you could say. So this is Ingrid on a hoverboard, I guess you could say, and she's taking out some bad guys in a helicopter. And this is just such a cool image. I mean, like I said, Valdez is one of my favorite characters in the Rippaverse, and it's so cool that she gets these images like this. I just love it. I just think it's grand. It looks fantastic. And I don't know how anyone could not see this and just go, wow, my mind is blown. And that is how great of an artist Joe Bennett is. He just does so sublime with those kinds of illustrations. Now, back to Dixon's writing. I really like how Dixon writes those larger teams. He did that a lot for DC Comics. He wrote some Justice League adventures, but he primarily is known for the Batman family and the Birds of Prey, which is where I got to know him. He's one of my all-time favorite Batman writers. And so he just has that knowledge of doing a team, even one as small as the Alphacore. They're only 3 members. They were briefly 4, if you remember from the Yaira comics, but now they're back to being down a person, so they're back to 3. And he just does a great job with that team dynamic, connecting them all together. And bringing in the Horsemen was a great idea. Now, as far as I know, the next Alphacore entry is going to be the crossover with the Horsemen during the Exclave event. And I am looking forward to that one tremendously. I like all of these characters, and who knows, maybe the Horsemen will be the non-Except member of Alphacore. Now, if you don't know, Except is a super-powered person. Typically, in this universe, they get it through some sort of scientific or alien means, but then it gets passed down. So that's actually how Isom became a superhero. Is his mom is an Except. We don't know how she got her powers, but she did, and Isom inherited his powers from them. Now we'll have to see if magic users are separate from Excepts. They seem to be so far, just reading from Bloodruth and from the other releases of the Rippaverse. So we'll see. I'm not really sure. They haven't clarified that yet, but I think that's the case. Magic users and Excepts are different. However you slice it, this is one exciting adventure. Alphacore 3 really exceeded my expectations. It was an excellent conclusion to the first 3 entries. I'm looking forward to the definitive Alphacore, which, yes, I have already pre-ordered. If you know me, you know I've already got them. I have a huge box coming full of Rippaverse stuff. I decided to do a lot of the July releases as part of my hero stash. Now, what the Rippaverse does is on their website, you can either buy them campaign by campaign, you can buy more than one like you can on Amazon, or you can do what they call the hero stash. And that's where you pre-order several, you go ahead and pay for the comic, and then later you consolidate them, and then you just pay for shipping for that group. And I decided to do a lot of the July releases for the Rippaverse like that. I just wanted to see what it was like to do that. So that means I'm going to get a lot of Rippaverse material at once. And I would like for you to tell me, how do you want me to approach that? Do you want me to do one video where I just unbox them all and then just put up the reviews on my Substack? Or would you like me to review them individually? I would really like to know this because I love the Rippaverse. They're so much fun. Or do you want me to do both? Do you want me to do an unboxing and individual video reviews? How should I approach that? I would love to hear from you. What do you think? And did you get Alphacore 3? What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments section below. Needless to say, I am very excited for the Exclave. Again, that's the crossover Rippaverse event. I am so excited for that. I think it's going to be a blast, and I think all of us fans are going to be blown away by how exciting it's going to be. Once again, I appreciate you watching today. I just want to remind you to like this video, leave me a comment to what you think, share it out to all your friends, and don't forget to subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube mobile, hype this video. It really helps me out. If you want to support me in the work that I do, head on over to my aforementioned Substack. You can find the link in the pinned comment or in the description of the video. You can subscribe at different tiers that unlock different perks. One of them is you get to choose the topic for the Substack, or if you do it even higher, you can choose the topic for here on the vidcast. Limitations apply, but it really helps me out, and I know all of you like to support your favorite creators, so thank you in advance. Another way to support me is buying my books. I've got 4 out right now. Just search my name in Amazon.com, or you can go to my Substack. Like I said, there's a conveniently titled Buy My Book section where there's links all over the place. But like I said, they're all available on Amazon. I hope you pick all 4 of them up. Leave me a 5-star review. It really helps out small indie creators like myself. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time right here on StudioJake. 'Cause I've been